How is that happening? Secondly, at a global scale, because at Vision 2030 you think globally, then you act locally. We asked ourselves, how is digital transformation redefining competitiveness and governance everywhere? And then thirdly, I mentioned youth unemployment. To what extent can digitalization help us on the road to creating employment for our youth? And then finally, policy decisions must be guided by data. Policy decisions must be guided on data. What is actually on the ground? What is actually countable? What is actually visible? What has actually been done? So we decided to, in the context of low finance constraints, high finance constraints, we decided to do a risk review. We said, if I'm a Kenyan in Samburu, where my boss, the PS, comes from, and I want to get a government service, does Samburu County have a website? Does it have any USSD application? Does it have an app? What does it have? Must I travel from my Manyata all the way to Maranga to get a service? If I'm in Gashoreri, where I come from, can I interface with the Embu County government online? Can I do everything I need to do from the safety of my house, which saves time, saves cost, and saves a lot of resources all around. So we decided to look at all the counties, all of them. We did a desk review, which obviously has limitations, as you can understand. And we agreed to have top performers who scored between 80 and 100%, with highly digitalized core services, reliable revenue management system, high levels of innovation, high data use for decision making, and explicit employment creation initiatives. To what extent has a county gone out specifically to create employment for its people and its youth? So we measured that. Then we had rising stars, so that was top performers. Then we had rising stars, who scored between 60% and 79%. What did we find here? We found that most core services are digitized. Not all, most core services are digitized. There are reliable revenue systems, reliable. There is emerging innovation. You can see signs of innovation in the environment. There is data use, which is very important for policymakers to base their decisions on actual data. And there was some employment creation through the initiatives. So 17 counties were in this category. In the first category of top performers, we had 7 counties, which will be named. And then we had mid-tier, the ones who are told, Ken is a bright boy, but there's room for improvement. Yeah? You remember the report forms? Room for improvement, mid-tier. These ones scored between 40 and 59%. And we found those partial progress on digitalization. Not digitization, digitalization, the whole ecosystem. There were low levels of digitalization and reliable revenue management system, some employment creation initiatives, and 17 counties found themselves in this category. And then we have the ones who are low performers, who scored between 0 and 39%. Those who went to universities, remember, SUPs start at, supplementary exams start at 40%? Yes. So these ones, I think, get a SUP, a well-intended SUP. Heavy reliance on manual and cash-based systems. Okay? And you know what that leads to? Yeah? With limited employment creation, 6 counties fell in this category. Now, we are in the age of AI, artificial intelligence. This is driving everything. If you came here today using Google Maps or GPS, you know that's AI in action, guiding you and learning from people's behavior as you move along. So we looked at data-driven decision-making transformations using AI, machine learning, and big data to replace intuition with evidence, enhance accuracy, speed, and efficiency in decisions. Encouragingly, counties are progressively adopting data-driven decision-making. I'll name them. Telemedicine. We have strong leadership from Murang'a, Siaya, Homa Bay, Tharaka Nithi, Nyamira, and Kericho. Okay, well done. On AI for health diagnosis, we have very good leadership from Kilifi and Kwale. On e-drought management system, Makueni is a standard performer on that. On drones for agricultural use and spraying, you have Kirinyaga and Trans Nzoia, already pioneering that. E-voucher system for livestock is in effect in Lamu County. Agrivuma technology, something new from Nakuru County. You tell us about it. So notable employment creation efforts include youth service initiatives, For example, Muranga and Machakos youth service programs offering short-term work study opportunities. Vocational skills programs, for example, Nakuru Textile Empowerment. SME support by county aggregation and industrial parks, Skypes, and digital hubs. Now, despite these achievements, there are challenges facing our devolved units, which still persist. There's poor electricity and internet connectivity, ICT access, and digital. Very, very, very IT savvy as a Kenyan pockets. And if you look at the demographic map of Kenya, 70% which leaves the rest of us dinosaurs and ancestors occupying only 25% of the Kenya demographic map. And it is a serious issue when you have 70% of the country below the age of 35. You must think about where they are going and what they will do. And you must do it before too long. So some of the key recommendations from the study include automation of essential services, business permits, revenue, health. We need to include automation performance in the CRA resource allocation formula. It needs to be revisited to see whether it is working properly. We need to accelerate last mile electricity and internet connectivity through partnerships. It's important to make sure that you're able to service people where they are. And a successful government reduces friction in itself. If you're able to reduce friction completely, and friction occurs where two human beings are meeting, bad things happen. So if you're able to provide government services to the full extent possible, without letting human beings meet, we're doing well. For reasons we all know. Okay? We need to accelerate private sector growth, skills development, entrepreneurship, infrastructure, and incentives. Kiswahili, our local language. So we need to let everyone who reads the FNL and religious live be comfortable also operating in the counties. And we can do that. And because we are also counties, you can think about a vernacular option as well, in terms of the options available. We need to ring-fence funds for youth entrepreneurship, MSMEs, and service automation. Because these are very, very important drivers which, if they work well, they unlock other things. Finally, while automation and e-government are powerful facilitators, they are not silver bullets. I'm not saying that if you do this, all the problems in Kenya will end. What we're saying is that effective, transparent, and accountable service delivery depends heavily on leadership and good governance at all levels. And ICT is an enabler, and it should be maximized and leveraged to the full extent possible. As I finish here, VDS, the Vision Delivery Secretariat. After I finish this, we're going to move into a competition for economic and business undergraduate students in 52 Kenyan universities to develop model economic plans. Public participation at the intellectual level. That's what we want. Every year we produce graduates from our universities, economists, statisticians, mathematicians, urban planners, lawyers, doctors. There are professionals coming out in the hundreds every year. Why are these people? And where are the ideas which they have? And why do we look for solutions outside when we have educated ourselves enough here to provide everything we have? So we're going to challenge everybody with a university degree. If you're an agronomist, come and tell us how to change your business. Bring your ideas here. If you're an economist, tell us what you think the government has been getting wrong. You tell us. Let us come here, we look at what it is you're proposing and see whether it works. Whatever profession you are, we're calling on all professionals to stand up now and changia hii effort. Changia sisi wote. Because if we leave it to government, government is a person like me. And a person like me is just a person like you. So what we're saying is we want to crowdsource ideas in this country. We want to challenge all the universities, and that's a separate challenge which is going to come up after this. I think I should stop here and allow my boss to come on and say a few words, and then we'll...
The Director General, Mr. Secretariat, media, senior government officials present, representatives from the Council of Governors, members of the state, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm truly honored to stand before you today at this important moment in the release of the inaugural Council Citizen Service Delivery and Employment Treasury. Let me begin by expressing my deep appreciation to the Vision 2030 Delivery Secretariat for their meticulous work in compiling this report. You have demonstrated that data and evidence must remain the bedrock of our development agenda. In the context of evolution and the promise of 2030, we are reminded that Vision 2030 was never merely a document. It was and remains a national commitment to transformation. And as political pillar, one of its greatest gifts to Kenya was the promulgation of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, which gave birth to the 47 county governments we now celebrate. Today, counties are no longer peripheral actors in our national story. They are engines of growth, centers of service delivery, and drivers of inclusive development. Since 2013, over Kenya shillings 4 trillion in equitable share and grants has been disbursed to county governments. These are significant public resources, and citizens have every right to ask what has been delivered, what is the quality of life at the village level. This ranking provides part of the answer. This ranking therefore matters because the world has been placed in the palm of our hands, as citizens do not have to travel kilometers or miss a day's work or pay a bribe to obtain a business permit, a marriage certificate, or approval for building plans. Through automation and digitization, from the comfort of through automation and digitization, services once delayed by paperwork and bureaucracy can now be accessed seamlessly from the comfort of one's home, office, or even a smartphone in the village. I note with pride that at the national level platforms, 10 counties, that's Meru, Bomet, Embu, Kajiado, Kakamega, Uasin Gishu, Mombasa, Kisumu, and Nyeri have already been onboarded onto the eCitizen platform. Nationally, we have met over 22,500 services from 583 government agencies are now available on eCitizen, with a target of 25,000 services by June 2026. When a county automates service delivery, it is not merely deploying technology, it is dismantling red tape that has historically choked enterprises, improving the business climate and signaling readiness for investment, strengthening on-source revenue collection, and creating a predictable environment for business growth. To the counties that scored over 80% in this assessment, we salute you. You have demonstrated that digital transformation is not a matter of resources alone. It is a matter of leadership, institutional discipline, and strategic intent. The youth have not been left behind. And this report also assesses employment creation, a subject close to the heart of us all and that of our President, and central to the aspiration. Under the leadership of His Excellency President Ruto, the national government, which were in that conference, this is MTP4, Million Content 4. This is just AKA Bottom-up Economic Transformation Agenda. That is the plan for 2023-2027. It's currently being implemented as now we improve on it as we go to vision to MTP5. This agenda, the bottom of economic transformation agenda, directly addresses unemployment, value chain development, and wealth creation at the grassroots. Key pillars of this effort are the establishment of county aggregated industrial parks, affordable housing construction, construction of markets, construction of sports centers. All these stimulate value addition to local produce, attract private sector investment, create sustainable employment opportunities for our young people. I urge all stakeholders, county governments, the private sector, development partners, to actively support and strengthen this partnership. Their success directly benefits us. Looking forward, we have the revised devolution policy and our commitment on it. I'm pleased to inform you that the Cabinet has approved the revised policy on the devolved system of government. This policy provides renewed strategic direction to address emerging gaps and evolving challenges within our devolved framework. It aligns national and county policies to ensure coherence, strengthens intergovernmental relations, and enhances optimal service delivery. Further, the State Department for Devolution continues to implement capacity building initiatives, including the Kenya Devolution Support Program, to enhance institutional and technical capacity across county governments. The Intergovernmental Regulation Sector Forums, the Governmental Sector Forums regulations are also being tabled at the Senate, where now the county governments can speak in one voice with the cabinet secretaries at the national government to address issues that are common between the county and the national government for all the sectors that are established. That's about 18 sectors. Our commitment is clear. We will continue to support counties to deliver effectively and efficiently. To county governments, I offer this. Let this ranking serve as a mirror, examine objectively, identify gaps honestly, implement corrective measures, grounded in data and performance metrics. Devolution thrives on peer learning and healthy competition. The successes of our county should inspire others. The success of one county should inspire others. The lessons from top performers should be shared, adapted, and scaled. It's just like copy pasting. You go to Murang'a County and you want to plug and play. Do not cost much. I don't think we will be able to shine. We are one nation. To the Vision 2030 Secretariat, I commend the technical rigor and integrity demonstrated in compiling this report. You have set a benchmark for evidence-based policy dialogue. To the media, our indispensable bridge between data and citizenry, I thank you for amplifying these findings to the public. We are all initiating public discourse and demanding accountability in value. As we roll towards the final stage of the data, it's time to refocus. Let data guide policy decisions. Let performance measurement shape resource allocation. Let innovation define service delivery. Let our shared ambition of a digitally empowered, economically productive, and fully engaged youth population unite us. Together, let us build a Kenya where service is efficient, opportunity is accessible, and success is determined by how well you serve. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. I have two bosses in the room. PS ICT representative, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Vivian Mayaka, representing State Department of ICT and Digital Economy. I don't have much to say, but to reaffirm our mandate as a State Department, it is clear we are here to build a robust, as a State Department, we are here to build a robust, secure, and inclusive digital system that empowers every Kenyan. We are expanding affordable and broadband connectivity across the country, ensuring that no region is left behind in accessing digital. We are strengthening policy and regulatory frameworks to promote cybersecurity, protect data, and create a trusted environment for innovation and investment. We are also accelerating the digitalization of government services to enhance efficiency, transparency, and service delivery to our citizens. At the same time, we are investing in digital skills development, nurturing innovation hubs, and supporting startups to create jobs and drive economic growth. Through strategic partnerships, infrastructure development, and a strong focus on inclusion, we are positioning Kenya as a regional leader in the digital economy. So together, we will harness the power of technology to transform lives, grow our economy, and realize the aspiration of Vision 2030. Thank you, and may God bless you.
It's approaching lunchtime. We're not providing lunch because of budget constraints, so we need to finish the next section very quickly. Are you able to project? Start with the last. He has a nasty habit of letting you down and expecting beyond. So I'll just go through the rankings and the reasons why, very briefly, in about 5 minutes, and then we release. Murphy's law is that if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. The counties which are on top, who can solve this problem quickly, can you help us? The presentation can be provided in soft copy as you leave, and it should be on the website and the report in the next 1 hour, correct? Yes. I talked about all this quickly. Yes, there. Yeah. Okay. Very, very briefly, these are the counties which scored between 0 and 39%, and the reason was heavy reliance on manual and cash-based systems, and we found limited job creation initiatives. And on the matrix, they were ranked, and we have Wajir at the bottom with 28.8%, Garissa 30.1%, West Pokot 45.1%, Tana River 35.8%, Marsabit 38.4%, Baringo 38.7%. These are the counties which, if this was a university exam, would be invited to do a supplementary. There's room for improvement. Let's move to the next one. Then the counties, the total scores ranging from 40 to 59%. This would be a good B. Professor, Mr. B? Let's start with Isiolo, 41.1%, Mandera, 43.3%, Siaya, 46%, Busia, 47%, Kericho, 48%, Bomet, 48%, Kisii, 50%, Turkana, 51%, Bungoma, 51%, Tharaka-Nithi, 52%, Nyandarua, 52%, Migori, 52% also, 53.9%, Embu, my home county, coming in at 54.9%, room for improvement, Nyamira, 55.5%, PS, Samburu comes in 56.5. Forget vizuri. Lakini here we deal only on data and what we found. Then we had Vihiga at 56.8 and Narok at 57.9. Now let's move to A and B students. These are B students. Homa Bay, 62.9.2. Trans Nzoia, Kitui, Kirinyaga, Uasin Gishu, Nandi, Taita Taveta, Kakamega, Kilifi, Mombasa, Makueni, Kajiado, Nyeri, Laikipia, Kwale, Elgeyo Marakwet, and Lamu at 70. Smallest county, okay? Doing very well, leading the top Bs. And then we move to the top category. We start with Machakos at 80%, well done, Nairobi. Meru, 80.3%. Kisumu, 81.2%. Kiambu, 83.9%. Nakuru at 87.3%. And on the matrices we chose, for whatever reason, Murang'a turned up with 98.3%. As you can see there, they are highly digitalized core reliable revenue management system. There are high levels of innovation, and there is high data use for decision making. Clear, explicit job creation initiatives. Now, I need to say this. When I looked at these statistics, I thought maybe there might be a problem, and I needed to do a physical visit just to confirm. So I went to Murang'a County, quite unannounced. And I managed to catch the governor there. I said I was passing by, can I visit? So I visited the governor, and what did I find? I just asked leading general questions without letting him know what I was asking for. And as we were talking, Governor Murang'a opens a dashboard. Actually, his office is full of dashboards. He's able to see where every county vehicle is. He's able to see how much money is being collected every minute, live basis. He's able to see what is happening in all the critical facilities, and it's all on screens. So when you're making a decision as a governor, the data is all in front of you, and it's not you're guessing, you're not hoping, and you're making no assumptions. This is purely data driven. And the reason why we decided to show the top performers is because I keep saying all the answers to all the problems we have in this country are here in this country. We don't need to go outside to get solutions. So for the group, the counties in the B, the C, and the D categories, my recommendation, my strong recommendation, you don't need to go to do benchmarking anywhere. And if we manage to do this, if we can get all the counties level, you can all imagine the ripple effect across the country. So, the mention is that this study literally cost us nothing, because we sat, we used the internet, and we went and visited the county digital services, whatever you provide as a county. So Murang'a County, whatever you provide, Wajir County, Marsabit County, whatever you provide, that's what we looked at. So it is as objective as you want. The criteria will be posted, and anybody, we invite anybody to go and cross-check our findings. If you've made a mistake, let us know. We'll correct the mistake. But what we want to do is to encourage all the counties to please let us learn from it. Let us learn from each other. All the answers are here, and we can say if we saw about 16, oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the 7 top counties. The 40 counties remaining. Please pay a visit to Machakos, Nairobi, Meru, Kisumu, Kiambu. Only one. Copy, that is easy. Edit is where you have to think, nowhere else. Edit to your local circumstances. Then paste. It's the simplest activity. Copy, edit to fit your local circumstances, and paste. If you can do that in the next 3 months, 6 months, or by the end of this financial year, we'll have moved Kenya 1 full GDP point, if you ask me. 1 full GDP point. So the transformation of Kenya is in our hands, as county governments and as a national government. So let us please emulate and learn our lessons from the top performing counties, and we encourage them to continue, and we'll be looking for more things to do. Just go to the back. Key innovations in counties. Go back. No, go back. Key innovations in counties. Yeah, there you go. Digital health innovations are something worth mentioning. None of us is okay if we are not healthy. Telemedicine, the leaders here are Muranga, Siaya, Homa Bay, Tharaka Nithi, Nyamira, and Kericho. There's a county called, two counties called Kilifi and Kwale, which are leveraging AI for health diagnosis. We encourage that. Smart agriculture and food security. E-drought management system in Makueni, drones for spraying, I mentioned this in Kirinyaga, drones in agriculture, Trans Nzoia, e-water system livestock, Agri-Boma, Nakuru, and data mapping and urban innovation. And you can see what we're talking about here. As this issue, I will talk much more about this. We've been saying at Kenya Vision 2030 that the future of this country is north. Let me repeat that. The future of this country is north, the northern counties. And the reason is simple. For the last 100 years, since the colonialists came, and the railway line, if you look at the railway line from Mombasa all the way to Kisumu, you will find that most of Kenya is where? Down here. What is called down Kenya, correct? This is where we sit. This is where we are all squeezing down here. 75% of Kenya is empty, pretty much, it's empty. So what we want to do for the future growth of this country is to see the Las Vegases and the desert cities and the dryland cities coming up. We already have in Kenya Vision 2030 the Isiolo city, resort city. We have Turkana resort city. We have another one in Lamu, Idis. All these are planned. So the future of this country is north. And when we're concerned about the how to improve services, because Kenya in the next 20-30 years will be moving to the northern counties after we are unable to buy plots here in Nakuru and Nairobi for 10 million and 20 million. The growth area is north. Particular responsibility, because the future of this country 20-30 years going forward is in your hands, and that's where Kenya will expand to. So with those very few remarks, allow me to move now to, allow me to just mention about the challenges we faced in the counties. We recognize also the counties have challenges. It's not that counties are doing nothing. The northern counties are very huge geographically. So they have peculiar challenges as well. Peculiar challenges. So we recognize the challenges which are faced by the northern counties. But we challenge them to still perform at the level of all the other counties. Inadequate access to electricity, internet connectivity, ICT equipment, and digital skills. It's a problem in many parts of this country. Lack of a legal framework or incentives to persuade county governments to automate services. Automation of services is a county initiative. Maybe there's a need to put minimum standards of operation in all counties, so that all counties have a standard to aspire to. Most county budgets are consumed by recurrent expenditure. So we acknowledge the squeeze on funds, leaving little time to implement meaningful economic empowerment programs. However, as this study has shown, we spent less than 20,000 shillings, which is essentially the fuel spent, going to confirm whether number one is really number one. Otherwise, we start here in the office, we drink tea in the office, and we use the internet in the office. So innovations don't have to be expensive, and they don't have to be cost prohibitive. And then automated services not being fully user-friendly, especially for those with limited language and digital skills. All these innovations are in English. Kiswahili is a national language, tutukuze Kiswahili. Tafadhali angalieni kama mnaweza pia weka menu za Kiswahili. Alafu tukiendelea mbele zaidi kwenye get to PhD level now, the accounting level, provide vernacular, because most of our grandmothers can read their Bibles in vernacular language. So recommendations are there. It will be useful, we think, at Vision 2030 to set a minimum level of automation which is required in all the counties. It will make a big difference in this country. We want to lobby for inclusion of automation, as I've said, partnerships, KPLC and all the other state institutions to accelerate last mile connectivity. We need a multi-pronged strategy combining private sector growth, skills development, entrepreneurship support. And at this point, it's good to mention, Kenya Vision 2030 is designed to be 30% government, only 30%. 70% is private sector. So all of us who are in government, on the government side for now, we must remember that our major partner is always the private sector. And we must find ways to bring the private sector into what we're doing. I've talked about Swahili and local language, and ring-fence funds for institutionalization of youth, entrepreneurship, and MSME growth and automation. If we say 70-75% of Kenya is under the age of 35, All these are people who are very heavy users of technology. Anybody under 35 is a heavy user of technology. In fact, they don't know how to go and queue like we used to and get a service. They don't know how to do that. So the challenge is on us government to meet these people at their point of need. And their point of need is on technology. That's where we need them. And that's where we must meet them. We have no choice as government. We must meet the youth on technology. And then, thank you. I think I can stop there. Challenges.
Internet connectivity. Because now we have formalized sector forums. Like in ICT, we have got a sector forum recently in Mombasa between the cabinet secretary and the chairperson, the council of governors, the governor who is in charge of ICT committee. And one of the issues addressed is the wage charges. The counties should charge, find a way to harmonize the charges on wage. They can incentivize to reduce the cost of laying or having the internet connected in the counties. So that is what we are doing in that sector. On incentives, this program, this report is going to assist in programming of government programs in government. For example, in our Kenya Development Support Program, we do our performance for results. We incentivize counties that if you do this reform, then you are discussed this amount of money. For example, all counties have websites. And then you tell God, those are the boxes we tick and go and check whether they them to look some. So we actually have incentives. We are trying to from development partners. This is just from it is the largest board. There are 72 board members. Almost all, yes. So this report will be shared, and they can also take it, they can improve on how they can design their programs so the counties can improve in the services. For example, on recurring expenditure, through the work on program that we have, the Kenya Development Support Program, the Auditor General conducted an independent audit on payroll for all 47 counties. And we have the report. So this report will be submitted to the sector forum, where the governors sit and the CS for that sector, and see how to address the problem. Whether they address at that level or escalated now to other governmental, for example, we have the governmental and budget council, or even at the summit, if it cannot be addressed there. So we are addressing this challenge as they are. So mine is just to encourage counties to not take the ranking as competition like. It's just for you to see where you need to improve, and you can actually access or peer learn from your next country. So that's all.
Kiambu County. Do you have Kiambu? Is someone from Kiambu? Kiambu, very near Nairobi. Any representative? Ministry of ICT will represent it. Inside is a plaque. Where's the plaque?
Yeah.
I apologize.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Of Nakuru, Governor Susan Kihika. Your Excellency. Hi, Mr. Rudesh. Yeah. So this is Nakuru County. Well done. People of Nakuru County should be happy. Nakuru County, well done. So you want to see benchmarking exercises going to these counties, huh? Yes. Well done. It was also coded. No worries. Thank you. Asante sana. It is now my extreme pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to invite PS Devolution to please kindly award the winners of this exercise, which is the county of Murang'a. Murang'atans, people from Motown,